Yes, people, what's going on? Ralph Rangnick's Manchester United era has started with a win 1-0 over Crystal Palace. It felt much more comfortable than that, I've got to say, watching it from the stands. I'm with Abdullah. Abdullah, what do you make of that today?
I thought the start of the game was probably the best start to a game we've had all season. Maybe not even all season, like a year or something. Ralph Rangnick spoke about having control in the game, but as well as being, proactive on the front foot, pressing, and the intensity was there. But having the intensity shouldn't mean that you lose that bit of control in the game. I felt like under Ollie, when we had those games where it was intense, it was up and down the pitch, it was too chaotic and we weren't in control of the game, as fun as they were to watch at times. Today was the perfect balance in the first 25, and then I felt like we lost our way a bit because players are going to take a bit of time to buy into a certain pressing structure and playing on the front foot in a certain way. Sancho, for me, obviously he got subbed off in the second half quite early. A lot of that might be due to him not playing a lot this season and us having a lot of games coming up, and he looks, everything was going through him. I felt like he looked a lot more confident. We've sort of seen it every season with him at Dortmund. He takes a bit of time to get into the season, maybe enjoys himself in the summer and he just chills because he didn't look the greatest at the start, and I know he wasn't getting enough minutes, but once he gets going he looks absolutely incredible. And Marcus, I know obviously not effective in front of goal, didn't really get a lot of chances, but he ran the channels, and in the first half he cut the ball twice back, and that's sort of what he offers you. And then Alanga comes on for him, so there's options for the forwards, and it was nice, it was comfortable in a way, because even though I felt like we gave too many corners away, Palace are not an easy team. We've seen what they've done to City. Even before the red card against City, they looked a threat. I thought Diogo Dalot again, like I said, against Arsenal, he should.
Just stolen my next question. How good was he?
I rate Dalot highly, man. I think there's another level he's going to reach. Like he could surprise us in terms of what he can offer now, because I'm starting to see him use his left foot a bit more, look a bit more of what we've seen. Like when I watched him for Portugal's under 21s for the Euros, just before he got caught up for the first team, I was watching some of those games over the summer, and he felt like a lot more comfortable when he was coming in. I know the level of football is different, but he just looked like more himself. And even at Milan, there was periods where he just feels way more confident, and it's just maybe having the manager trusting in you and saying go for it. His anticipation and his decision making has definitely improved, because there was one chance in the first half, I think, where he again, like Arsenal, he waits for the ball behind Zaha, it drops, and then he wins it and he goes. And then so them decisions that he wasn't making before, he's getting right and he's being proactive, sort of what that intensity that Ralph Rangnick will like to see from his fullbacks. And I thought him and Tellers offered a lot. Tellers, I think, one of the most tackles and interceptions on the pitch. So both the fullbacks are doing their thing. And the best thing about Dalot is, even if you want to shore things up in the end of a game or something, you can put Wan-Bissaka on and then push him further up the pitch, because he can still offer a cross. We've seen some good crosses from him. So I think a controlled game to a certain extent. We gave them a bit too many chances. Scott McTominay, we spoke off camera before, I do defend Scott quite a bit, and I think he does offer things at times, but I think there's a level where we just need to upgrade in that midfield and have him as a squad player for certain occasions. Because there's times where I feel like Marcus, he makes that run and just that ball needs to go quick, because he likes that ball coming in quick into him. And there was a quick triangle we were playing on the edge, I think it was Rashford, Dalot or someone on the right channel, and then McTominay just comes in and just kills everything. And I felt in that situation, I thought I would have bought.
When Greenwood got on the ball.
Yeah, when Greenwood got on the ball.
And Ronaldo was free.
Yeah, it's just like Donny in that situation, especially that one-touch situation, it would have been perfect, and that's who I'd have bought on a bit earlier. But I understand, like, sort of going with the same team, but it was a different style. Like I expected before, when we first got linked to Rangnick and what was going to happen, it would be similar to his Leipzig side, playing with wide playmakers, and Bruno and Sancho have done that to a decent effect. Like again, Bruno, I don't expect him to be as productive under Ralph Rangnick, because if you look at this Leipzig team when Forsberg was playing there under Rangnick and so on, and even under Nagelsmann, they adapted a similar system, he was less effective when he's playing wider, but it was better for the sake of the team, because he puts in the work and then he can still deliver from the wide areas. And yeah, I'm happy and I'm excited to see what he can bring. It feels like we're playing like sort of a top European club to a certain extent today.
Good game coming up to kind of tinker with things and try and experiment maybe against young boys. We're already through, we're already top of the group. What changes would you like to see him or things would you like to see him try out in that game?
I think I'd personally keep the same 11, maybe bring in a Donny, because you can sort of, especially with Norwich coming up and stuff.
For McTominay, who you mentioned before.
Because we were playing on the front foot so much, like where we're in control of the game, you're safe to play a Donny in that game, especially against Norwich. So yeah, I'd like to see that, and then you just switch things up, maybe get Mason back up to speed, because there was an instance in the end of that game where there was a Palace player on the ball, just him. There was no offer for like a pass for the Palace player, and then he half presses him. And in those moments, you need to be a lot more, you need to have that intensity to come out and press the ball and win it there. Because if he comes out quick to him there, I think he wins the ball. And it's just players need to slowly buy into it. But I'd keep the same 11 because I thought we started really well. We're getting chances. Ronaldo looks like he's bought into work. He's really working hard. But it's about creating a structure. It's not just the players sometimes might not look up for it. But then when you don't know who you're pressing and it's all chaotic and erratic, then it's not going to look right. And
also learn how to do different things when we lose the ball and in certain transitions, because there were times where for a minute we'd kind of go back into the way we've been playing in the last few weeks, but then quickly snap out of it. So you imagine that will change quickly. Man of the match, it's easy, isn't it?
Frederick.
You've got to say Fred.
Frederick, man. I love what he's doing right now, and hopefully he continues that form.
Yeah, we got Brazilian Fred. Zayan, what did you make of that today?
I thought it was a strong performance today. We were cruising throughout the game, and I think especially first 25 minutes of the game we hit the ground running, which we haven't done for a long time considering we've been going 1-0 behind, not keeping many clean sheets, and we kept a clean sheet today. We were sure at the back that he didn't need to make as many saves as he usually did. And when we...
Or shames. He never made no shames today, thank God.
Yeah, and I thought we were good at playmaking in attack, so we were using the channels well, which he hadn't done as much, and we play more on the front foot instead of sort of playing on the counter that we have.
Ronaldo didn't score today, but he impressed many. What did you make of it? And was you worried for him in this Rangnick style system?
No, I don't think that he has to score every single week, but I thought he had an instrumental game today. Although he's not scoring, he was linking up the play well, and he was a real focal point. So when we're winning the ball back, when we're pressing, he's always there for an option to play out wide into Rashford or Sancho or Greenwood or whoever it will be. And I think so far this season, he's been top quality. And just because he doesn't score one game, I don't think it's any warning.
Abdullah said his man of the match was Fred. Now, you might agree with him, but you can't pick Fred. Who would your man of the match be, or who stood out most for you?
I think Delo was a strong performance today from him, really challenging Wan-Bissaka, and it's given a Rangnick a good headache for him, because especially with Tellers as well, Shaw coming up and Wan-Bissaka have had questions over their position, and Tellers and Delo really look like they want the places.
We got young boys up next. What changes would you make, if any? Anyone you want to see given an opportunity in Rangnick's system?
I think Van der Beek should be given an opportunity, whether that be for McTominay or resting Bruno. But I think India should try him out in certain games, because if it isn't going, if it isn't going their way for Bruno or whoever it is, we can just easily switch him on and he's match ready. So if he's given more minutes instead of a sort of 10 minutes at the end, which he's usually been given, he can maybe show what he can do.
Looking forward to the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think it's a good sign. This game today, cruising performance, it looked much better than a 1-0.
Cheers, man.